A lot of people aren't gonna like this, but here's how I would rank every single Fox X-Men movie from worst to best. The Fox X-Men movies genuinely have some of the greatest comic book movies ever made, but they also got some stinkers. So we gotta get to the bottom of which one is on top. And don't ever forget, it's my list. I can't miss. Easily in last place, I got the New Mutants. I mean, the studio itself didn't even give a shit about this movie, which is a damn shame because we had some talented actors and actresses working on this movie. Mainly Anya Taylor-Joy's magic. If you watch it for her, but she's racist. But I would not recommend this piece of shit. But not too far behind it, we have Dark Phoenix. Genuinely some of the worst performances from these actors I've ever seen in my life. This is the movie that Jennifer Lawrence famously packed in because she was like, I'm done playing Mystique. I'm tired of this shit, Grandpa. The train sequence is good, but outside of that, unboxing our third pack of ass, we got X-Men Apocalypse. I just don't, I like Oscar Isaac, but as Apocalypse though, the one time I would have went CGI over practical too. Like, why did you make him practical if you're going with Oscar Isaac who's like 5'8"? But he at least tried to make it work. Outside of that, a lot of the characters are assassinated again. There are a lot of really genuine cool moments in this movie. Everything with Magneto's dope. The Quicksilver Sweet Dream scene, Olivia Munn is Psylocke. Next up, I got X-Men Origins Wolverine, which I genuinely loved growing up. You can definitely tell this one suffered a lot from the writer strike in 2008 or 9, I think. Felt like this was a rough draft of a movie. A lot of the CGI was not good. Easily the worst CGI claws I've ever seen. I did really like Liv Schreiber as Sabretooth though. We're brothers, Jimmy. This was the precursor to Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. But then they decided to sew the merc with the mouth's mouth shut. Ha! What the fuck was this twist? Hey, but the movie tie-in video game for this is underrated. From there, I gotta go with X-Men The Last Stand. Can we just do the Dark Phoenix storyline right? Thank God for X-Men 97 because this was character assassination for Cyclops. All that brother ever did was be pissed, be blind, be cucked, and then die. The thing that's frustrating is the potential was there. The storyline of if there was a cure for your mutant gene, the ethical dilemma that creates for mutants. Should I take it? Should I not? That's like Civil War level stuff right there. We introduced the Dark Phoenix and she gets fucking sidelined for 25 minutes of the movie. Magneto did get plus 1,000 aura points for fucking up SF traffic even more by tearing the Golden Gate Bridge and creating a bridge to Alcatraz. Unpractical, but I'll allow it because it's dope. Kelsey Grammer's Beast? That angel wing scene traumatized me. I was looking at my shoulder blades different. Haha! Oh yeah, you know who I am. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Next up, I got The Wolverine. A Wolverine solo film when he's in Japan, dealing with the PTSD of killing Jean, fighting off Yakuza members on a bullet train. Man, this movie was so good. And then that third act happened. As soon as they introduced Silver Samurai, shit goes downhill quick. It was like being on the top of the roller coaster, but you just get stuck up there, you don't go down. But still really fucking good. Next up, and this might be controversial, I got the original X-Men. I recently rewatched it, and I was surprised that it didn't hit as hard as it used to. It definitely didn't really age all that well, but it is iconic and it helped pave the way for the superhero genre moving forward. Like, looking back, we barely had the Professor and Magneto in this movie. A lot of the action is not good. Costumes are kind of corny, but it's just crazy that they put this movie on the back of a young Australian actor who was relatively unknown and wasn't even supposed to have the role to begin with. But that's the legend of Hugh Jackman. Next up, I got First Class, and I know another movie that didn't really hit as hard on rewatch. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it's got some of the highest highs, but also some of the lowest lows. McAvoy and Fassbender are the best Magneto and Professor X we've ever gotten in live action. I don't care. Everything with them makes this movie. The way they were able to sell the story of the mutants before they get exposed to the world into real life events like the Cuban Missile Crisis was immaculate. There's a lot of really corny fucking dialogue, terrible cheesy jokes, bad romance, horrible costume and makeup. Mystique and Beast, go back and watch this movie, you're gonna laugh. I think Kevin Bacon is cool as the villain, but I gotta speak my truth, I think it's severely overrated. Still good though. Next up, I got Deadpool 2, and compared to the first Deadpool, it's just not as good, but I still had a lot of fun with it. It did retread some of the same jokes from the first movie, but the introductions of Zazie Beetz as Domino and Josh Brolin as Cable were perfect. We got comic accurate Juggernaut. I didn't really fuck with Fire Fist like that, but I get for the story it worked. I didn't like that they killed off and fridged Vanessa in the first 5 minutes of the movie, even though it did give us Ashes by Celine Dion, which I'm serious, it should have got an Oscar nomination at least. And those post-credit scenes cleaning up the timelines, come on. Next up, I got X2, which is just filled with so much sauce. When I rewatched this one, I was like, God damn, that camera was moving. Again, Wolverine and Rogue continue to be the heartbeat of this movie. A much more compelling storyline. Stryker's introduced. The opening Nightcrawler in the White House scene is one of the greatest comic book movie scenes of all time. This movie deserves the love that First Class gets. In third place, I got Deadpool, and I'm tired of the disrespect this movie gets. It is a damn good movie. I damn near put it in second. This movie cemented Ryan Reynolds as one of the greatest comic book castings of all time. Deadpool brought to life the perfect blend of heart, humor, and action. That opening scene into the highway scene goes crazy. Meta jokes work for the time. I know it's kind of overused at this point, but at that point in time, it was great. And it's just a movie that I personally really love, so I gotta put it this high. But in second place, I got easily the best ensemble X-Men movie, X-Men Days of Future Past. This was just the perfect mix of everything that made this franchise special. Now, while it might have not have been the perfect like X-Men adaptation, it brought the past and the present together while still having Wolverine being front and center, but not overtaking the story. Like, the way they use him in the story is perfect, but he's not the main focus at the end. Mystique still gets a whole lot of time to shine. Every Magneto and Professor X scene in this movie fucking hits. You abandoned me! You took her away, and you abandoned me! Angel, Azazel, Banshee. Where were you, Charles? You abandoned yourself. That's called motherfucking bored. Just because someone stumbles and loses their way doesn't mean they're lost forever. Oh, I'm gonna cry. All of those criticisms I had for First Class are extinguished in this movie. No corny or eye-rolling dialogue. Actual good hair and makeup. Just the perfect send-off for this franchise. They should have just never made any more after this one. But come on, was it ever any doubt that Logan wasn't gonna be in first place? This isn't just the best X-Men movie. Not just one of the best superhero movies ever made. This is just plain one of the best movies ever made. I knew we were in for peak from the first trailer with Hurt by Johnny Cash. Such a powerful and emotional send-off. It's fucking X-Men, but as a Western. Every scene with Logan and Charles, Daphne Keane as X-23 is mwah, and just a generational performance from Hugh Jackman who deserves a goddamn salute. And that's why it's number one.